Creating strategic partnerships in your business will help you go further, but building meaningful strategic partnerships will help you create a business that people want to be a part of. Join me and Cam Martinez for an insightful conversation on partnerships, community, and giving back. In this episode, you'll learn how to build meaningful relationships in business, the importance of having something to leverage in order to achieve your business goals, and how you can build community around your bigger vision. Cam Martinez is a serial entrepreneur, podcast host of the Six Figure Roadmap, and best version business coach who also runs the operations of a company called Leverage. Leverage is a membership association that is on a mission to change the way technology and education is delivered to entrepreneurs by providing the best deals and discounts on tools, software, and courses, and that is restless in its pursuit to its cause to feed 1 billion people. If you want more information on Leverage, please check out the link in the show notes. Today's episode is sponsored by How to Conquer Your Bullshit with CPR, my free training that will help you bring your message to the masses. Sign up for the free training at rubyfremont.com/CPR. Now, whether you're new to the podcast or you're a loyal podcast listener, please make sure you take a moment to download a few episodes and drop a rating and review on iTunes. Now it is time to learn how to build meaningful strategic partnerships with Cam Martinez. Welcome to today's Thought Leader, where I'm challenging you to rise up, speak up, and create a movement. I'm your host, Ruby Fremont, and I'm here as a catalyst for you, the new generation of thought leaders. Join me every week as I dive into raw and real conversations that will help you amplify your presence, influence, and impact. Hey, thought leaders, I am back with another amazing guest. And this guest and I just recently became connected through a mutual friend. And I'm really excited to bring him on the show because, number one, he's built something really fucking cool. And number two, I have no idea where this conversation is going to go. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Cam Martinez. Cam, welcome to today's Thought Leader.
Hello, I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to be here too. What I loved about, basically we had a connection call just a week or two ago where I got to know you a little bit. And I like to save like the big nuggets for the real podcast recording, which is happening right now. But what I loved about what you shared is the fact that you've really been leveraging partnerships and you really thrive on building communities. And I think that's super important, especially now, because we see so many entrepreneurs on the rise and so many leaders coming up and speaking their purpose and speaking their truth. And a lot of people are speaking about community, but they're not really actually cultivating it. The things that they're doing, the actions that they're taking are actually creating more division. And more competition versus collaboration. So why don't you share with the audience what you've built and how you've done that through partnerships and connections that you've made?
Yeah, so I think it's important to start with the beginning of how our company and community was formed. So our founder, my business partner, Sylvania, I actually just realized I'm on his Zoom right now.
You are. I can see that name and I'm like, that's not Cam.
Yeah, whoops. So we're partnered with Zoom and, we have to control like our users through his account. And then,
right.
Anyway. So my partner, Sylvania, is still in a full-time corporate sales position. And essentially what he does all day, every day is, build partnerships with Fortune 500 companies to sell the software of the company Commvault that he works for. So he took the concept of doing that for large companies, brought it down to the entrepreneurs that we serve. And so alongside that, we are both very introspective people. And so in the beginning of kind of the creation of our community, it was really just, we had a community of people who were like coaches, authors, speakers, looking to grow their influence on social media. And He would just create content all the time about how to do that, get speaking gigs, and get different, teach them how to create different streams of income and stuff like that. And so what we found was that a lot of those people in the community also had full-time jobs that they were doing, and speaking coaching and being an author was something they did on the side. And it was taking away from their time and their money and their family and all the things that they actually loved. And as they were building their business, they weren't able to experience things with their kids. They weren't able to sit on the table or go on vacations and things like that. And so he sat down and we thought about how we could serve these people the best. And him being high up in the corporate sales community, and me being indulged in the digital marketing and online entrepreneur space, we were like, what are we doing right now that's working? What do we know can help these people? And we took what he does every day, which is building partnerships, getting deals on software and courses and things like that. And then we brought that to the community that I was in, which was, the digital marketer space. And we said, let's provide these deals and discounts to the community of people that we're already serving, who could really benefit from these discounts that we're giving them, so they can put more food on their table, so that they can, take their family on experience and stuff like that. So that is kind of the foundation of the community that we've built. And now it's growing into a endless pursuit of our cause to feed 1 billion people. And the way that
which is amazing.
Yeah, people always say you need to have, that gigantic goal that you're trying to achieve, right? That one big thing that you're striving for. That's our big thing, is feeding 1 billion people. And the way that we're able to do that is by the membership that we've created, providing deals and discounts to the entrepreneurs that we serve. So that's kind of how the community aspect was founded and cultivated through those things.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, nowadays we see a lot of people creating communities, right? They see a problem, much like you did. They create a solution and they have some sort of membership platform around that solution. And what I have noticed personally is, especially with the work that I'm doing with a lot of leaders, is a lot of people are creating these memberships, but they're not thriving. Like, they create the memberships and no one's becoming a member, or the community feels, quote unquote dead. Like, there's no engagement, there's no connection, there's no real, there's nothing that's really tying the people of this community together. And so I'm curious to know, how have you built this community, and do you feel like it is something that is thriving, or is there room for improvement to make it feel like a more connected community?
There's always room for improvement. The community that we've built, really, the way that it's kind of already prefaced before people even become a member, even of just our Facebook group, is they're coming for deals and discounts. They're not expecting training around business growth. They're not expecting training around software that could help them grow their business, or training on how to cultivate relationships and things like that. So that's something that we've done our best to do, is tie in the value that they're receiving inside the membership with education and things that are actually going to help them improve as a person, as a business owner, as a leader. But like I said, there's always room for improvement. So to answer your question, that what we've done actually very recently is we've done a lot of customer research. We've asked a lot of questions just to see what people actually want. Are they here just for the deals and they're getting the education and collaboration and community aspect somewhere else? Or are they expecting more from us? And so some of the things that people have said is, we want it to feel like a networking, like we can network with other entrepreneurs in here, because there are a lot of people doing a lot of amazing things. We've tried to cultivate that. People have requested more education. People have requested having 2 separate groups, right, for paid members and free members. And so we're really just trying to get feedback from everybody to ensure that they are getting what they want, because at the end of the day, everything that we do in our business it's not for us. It's for the
Right.
people that we are providing these things to. So we always are always doing customer research.
Right. And I think that's really important. And it's a piece that a lot of people miss. And what you said was super key. Like, it's not for us, it's for the people. And I think that can be easily missed. And when that's missed, people don't pay attention to the actual client, or they don't pay attention to their needs and to their desires. I mean, yes, you guys solved a problem that this group of people were having. And you made it easy. You simplified the process for them to create these partnerships. And a lot of people are creating things like this where they're solving the solution, they're providing a solution, but they forget about who they're serving. Mm-hmm. And so I love that you're continuously surveying your community to improve, to continuously improve, because that's super important. I would love to talk more about the services that you offer, because let's be real, I've done events and I've tried to seek sponsors, and I've tried to seek sponsors in my other career and strategic partnerships and things like that. And people make it sound really easy, and it's not always that easy. And maybe I'm just misguided. I don't know. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there doing really fucking amazing things. Like they have their podcasts, they have their events or workshops or tours, or, things that are happening that they're seeking these partnerships for, but they're not able to really attain them. So what's the missing link?
I think, in my experience, it's always been, well, first starting with the customer. Is this something that they want? So in our circumstance, right, we don't just go out and get whatever software, whatever courses we think are going to be beneficial. We ask. So we have a community forum basically that allows people to say, I could use this software in my business. I could use this course in my business. I could use this training in my business. And then we do our best to bring that to them. I think in terms of building meaningful relationships and strategic partnerships and getting these deals really comes down to why you're doing it. And so every time we reach out to somebody, I'll just use Thinkific, for example. Thinkific is it's a course creation platform. Right. With like Kajabi and ActiveCampaign, we also offer those services. But what we've done when we're reaching out to those people is we've either gone through our network to ask if anybody's connected with the executive level people, or if we're just doing cold outreach via email, we always start with our mission. And that is along with providing your service, which has been requested by our members, we want you to know that your contribution to our membership goes farther than just our network of people. It's going to a larger impact around the world. We're feeding children. We're partnered with this nonprofit. This is you're partnering with more than just us. You're helping a lot of different people around the world. And so that we always lead with the why and something that people can become a part of. Because if I came to you and I was like, hey, I have this membership. Do you want to be a part of it? And you're like, I mean, yeah, I guess like I could use this in my business. But if I came to you and said, hey, we have this amazing membership where if you purchase a membership through us, 20% of that revenue goes to our partner nonprofit Feed a Billion. So I can ensure you that not only are you going to get the best software and courses available to you, but that your money is going in someone's pocket that actually needs it.
Right.
Which one's more powerful?
Yeah. And we're seeing that more often. I have friends in Bali who run a coaching business who have also created their own nonprofit. I know a guy with this really cool tattoo shop that does conscious art tattoos, and they give back to a nonprofit. I also give back to a nonprofit. And it's really interesting to see how that lands on the audience, because I think at the end of the day, everyone wants to contribute to something bigger than them. Right. And if they can, if for example, maybe someone else doesn't really regularly give back, but they know that by joining your membership, they're going to be giving back, or by signing up for one of my programs, they're going to be giving back. It makes it a more meaningful investment.
Yes, exactly. And it brings a different perspective and leveraging point where you can go to a person, show them how they can make an ROI by partnering with you, but then also show them how they, as a human, because they're always striving for connection, can actually connect with you, your customers, with the people you're serving, with the people you're feeding, whatever it is that you are giving back to. Why not lead with that?
Yeah. And how did you, because I think this is a really interesting thing, is like, how did you land on the nonprofit that you decided to partner with?
Yeah, so it's not a crazy story and everything. My business partner, Sylvania, he knows what it's like to be without food, to be hungry. If you think about it, think about the last time that you went, a longer amount of time than usual without food. You probably got hangry, you were drowsy, you were at a lack of energy. There are people in the world who go through that every single day. And so because of that, it's often the gateway to things like sex trafficking, the gateway to things like, sex trafficking, selling drugs, doing things like that around the world. And so we wanted to create a way that not only are we putting food in the bellies of the children we're feeding, but also in the bellies of the entrepreneurs we're serving. And so, there's a lot of different nonprofits out there, a lot of nonprofits that provide food, that provide shelter, that provide, clothing and stuff like that. What we really loved about Feed a Billion in particular is the founder, AJ, when he started the nonprofit, he put all of his money into it and he was hands-on in everything. So he was actually inside of the logistics of it. He was flying to places like Africa and India. And one of the things he found was when he was sending these meals to the children in these countries, it wasn't being distributed equally. And what I mean by that is men and women are still treated differently, very differently in other countries. And so let's just say he sent 3 meals, 2 of them would be given to a male and 1 would be given to a female.
Oh, wow.
He wouldn't have known that unless he was actually there. And now what he does is gives it to schools so he can ensure that they are responsible for distributing those meals equally. So we really loved that aspect, not only that he built it from ground up, but that he himself is the leader, is the executive, and we have like actual an actual way to speak with him. We have direct access to him instead of going through all the people he's trained or whatever. So we really love that.
Yeah. And I love what you said earlier about, putting belly in the foods of these people as well as the entrepreneurs, because it creates like this link that, like a connection, that makes it feel a little more relatable. And I hear you on, having that connection with AJ, the founder of the nonprofit. I think it's really easy to just pick a random nonprofit or charity to give back to. But I feel personally, I think it's more meaningful to find one that you have some sort of a connection to and can continue to nurture the relationship, and create like a meaningful partnership with, which is one of the reasons why I partnered with, the foundation that I did. So it's called SPY, a Safe Place for Youth, because I'm able to talk to the founder directly. I'm able to talk to their team directly. Everyone there knows who I am, and I'm able to go there and volunteer. And it feels really good to know where your money's actually going, and then to be able to tell that story to your clients or your customers, because then they know where their money's going.
Yep.
So it's really interesting, because I think a lot of people strive for partnerships, but they don't understand how to create these meaningful partnerships. And it's the meaningful partnerships that I believe are going to drive you further in business. Yeah.
And I don't want to, misconstrue what we do inside of our business, because we are a for-profit.
Yes.
So we are generating revenue, and we do have a leveraging point. We get access to lower prices on software and courses that we get to provide to our customers. So of course, there is always that side of the conversation that we're having. Even if Feed a Billion wasn't even a part of what we're doing, we could still go to a lot of companies and say, we have X amount of people in our community. Here's how big our email list is. Here's how far our reach can go. Here are some case studies of companies that have flourished with revenue by partnering with us. We could easily say those things, right? So we do have a leveraging point.
Right.
And that's something that I think is important too, as a business owner, having something to leverage in a conversation when you're negotiating. And that's one of the things that we are striving to educate more people on, more entrepreneurs on, is creating their own leverage like our company, creating a way where, let's just say you are a full-time podcast host. Imagine if you went to the companies of Yeti or of
Rode,
whatever. And you're like, hey, I have a million listeners. I would love to partner with you. And, if you give me 40% off of your microphones, I would be happy to not only put that inside of my membership, but put it on the podcast and things like that. You're making a separate form of revenue. You have a partnership, and you are giving your customers something that they want. So any business owner can do what we're doing. Right.
Yeah, it's just different ways to leverage.
Yeah.
Right. Like we can leverage through the bigger vision, the vision of helping to feed 1 billion people. We can leverage through the results that we create day in and day out. We can leverage through both.
Yep.
And that just makes it easier for people to want to work with you, or to invest in you, or to want to partner with you, or be a member in your site, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to, just for the listeners, so Cam's membership, basically, let me put it in like the simplest terms. Say you want to build your course in Thinkific and you don't want to pay the Thinkific prices. Cool. Sign up for Cam's membership and you'll get a discount on Thinkific and a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Your money's also giving back.
Yeah. It's $47 a year.
Wow.
It's a super low barrier of entry. For now. We're not sure. We're definitely raising our prices soon, because we're launching an affiliate program. We want to make sure that they can, make profit from it too. But $47 a year, 20% of that goes to Feed a Billion, and then you get access to a bunch of cool deals and discounts.
Yeah. And I think what's coming up for me is this idea that, especially in the space that I'm in with the leaders, and there's a lot of spiritual leaders and people who feel like they have to be a martyr in their business. Like they can't, if I want to give back, then I can't be for profit, or I can't make too much money because I want to put all my money back into something, into a cause. But what you're demonstrating is like, you can be for profit and you can give back.
Totally.
And you can do both simultaneously. And it sounds like when you do that, it can actually help launch your business into a direction of more success, because it then becomes more meaningful for the customer and the client, because they want to be part of this greater mission.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the best people at it is Tony Robbins. I mean, he's for profit. He donates to Feeding America. I think today I just heard him say that he's provided over 500 million meals this year. So
wow.
It's definitely something that you can absolutely do in your for-profit business.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how. I think a lot of people also think like, I have to be at a certain point to do this. You guys started off with that, did you not?
Yeah, it's been a part of our company since day one.
Wow. So that's important to recognize, because I don't think we need to wait until we're at a certain point in our business to be able to give back. I think that's just nonsense. If we want to incorporate like the give back, we can start with that and incorporate it into our businesses and create a more meaningful business in that way. I think a lot of people like to say that they're heart-centered entrepreneurs and they want to give back in some way. And this is an opportunity for you to do so. And it's also an opportunity for you to leverage what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I'm sure this has also helped you guys stand out.
Yeah. So we actually, we have not implemented a marketing campaign or a customer acquisition strategy yet. Everything's been organic.
Wow.
But as we do, that is for sure going to be the first thing that we do is tell people why we're doing what we're doing so that we can stand out for sure.
Why is that important?
To us?
Yeah. To tell people why.
It really all comes back to community. We, like you said earlier, people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And we want to be the gateway to allowing them to do that in their lives. It also, the more people inside of our membership, the more revenue we generate, the more people we feed. That's why it's important to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's powerful. Especially when you put it in that way. Like that could just be the one-liner explanation that you could just shoot a 10-second video and you're done.
No, that's good. We were going to go with it's Black Friday every day, but I like that. I like the more people who join our community, the more revenue we make, the more people we feed.
Yeah. That's powerful. It's powerful. And that can be for all of our listeners, like that can be for your business too, right? Like we don't have to be martyrs in our business just because we're heart-centered entrepreneurs or leaders. Like we don't have to wait until a certain point in our to reach a certain point in our financial success to start to give back. We can incorporate these things into our business right away and use that both to build community and connection with the community, and also to start to leverage out what you're doing because it creates a bigger purpose for people to want to be a part of. Yeah, I love that. I love everything that you guys are doing. Cam, do you have any final thoughts that you'd love to share with our community?
Yeah, I don't want people to feel like they're missing out in their business. I don't want them to feel like they started off in the wrong direction. What I'll say is be patient. Don't let other people dictate your time, your influence, or your worth.
I love that. I feel like that's advice that we need to hear every single day as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Be patient. Be patient. Whatever you're working on, it'll come.
Yeah, for sure. Cam, why don't you tell our listeners where they can stalk you online and your community if they want to be a part of it. And then I will have all those links in the show notes. So if the community sparks your interest, make sure you check out the show notes. So Cam, how can they stalk you?
Yes, you can go to our Facebook group at Entrepreneur Deals and Discounts. You can check out our membership at lvrg.it, and then you can listen to our podcast, The Six Figure Roadmap.
Awesome. So all those links are going to be in the show notes. Cam, thank you so much for coming to this show, for sharing your knowledge, for sharing a bit of behind the scenes of your business and what you guys are growing. I love your mission. And I'm going to continue to share what you guys are doing because I believe in it. And I love that it's both helping the entrepreneurs and helping our planet, really.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for the kind words. I'm glad to be here.
To our listeners, thank you so much for joining Cam and I on today's Thought Leader, where we are challenging you to rise up, speak up, and create a movement. If you dig this episode with me and Cam, please share it with a friend. And don't forget to drop a rating and review on iTunes. If you have any questions for myself or for Cam, just reach out to us on social media. I'll drop those links in the show notes as well. And I will see you back here on Thursday for a brand new episode of today's Thought Leader.